What's up, Big Bear Nation? Wow, we are so glad that you've decided to join us tonight on our Saturday night live stream. But before we get things started, you know the drill. Jason and I are running around, putting on some finishing touches, getting the live stream set up. So in the meantime, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about McMurray Hatchery, one of our favorite sponsors, or at least one of my favorite sponsors. Jason, he gets a little upset at times because he says that they're enabling me. But they are an awesome hatchery. And I know I've said this a million times, but it's worth saying again. If you're considering getting your meat birds or your layers or turkeys or quail or ducks, they have it all. They even have peacocks, which I'm working on trying to get. But they have so much variety. Their genetics are great. The chicks always come healthy. We never have any issues. I know that some people have said that the prices are a little bit more expensive because, you know, let's face it, everybody's been to Tractor Supply and seen the 99-cent chickens or the 76-cent chickens in my case. But I will tell you that the chickens that I've got on those deals never survived. I think I have one chicken left from the great buy of 2016 or 17 when I bought 76 chickens at 76 cents a piece. I think I have one left. And with McMurray, we got some layers last year and they're all still with us. Meat birds, they made it all the way through. They're in the freezer. Some of them are even in our bellies. So I just wanted to give you guys just that extra little push. If you haven't gotten your birds yet, definitely check out their website. They have the best birds, the greatest customer service. And one thing that a lot of companies do not have is customer support, which is amazing. They will answer any questions, give you any advice. I know last year I had some issues with some guinea keats that we got. I did not know that they needed a higher percentage protein for their feed. And right away, they knew exactly what was going on and they told me what I needed to do and it fixed everything. This year, I'm hoping to get into ducks. I still got my fingers crossed on that. But I don't know a lot about raising ducks for eggs or, you know, the only thing we've ever raised is Muscovies. But they have other different types of ducks, pekins and silver apple yards or whatever, a bunch of different types. And of course, I'm going to go from crazy chicken lady to crazy duck lady. But that's probably going to be in the fall time. But the reason why I bring that up is I absolutely know nothing about ducks except for what I've watched on YouTube. And while that can be a good resource, I feel like the poultry people will be able to tell me even more. Ginger's been very helpful. Tom has been very helpful and very supportive in the things that we want to do. So I just wanted to take just a few minutes to thank them and also to tell you that if you're not buying from McMurray, you're wasting your money. So grab your tea, put your seatbelt on, because this is going to be a great show. See you soon. Pew, 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 pew.
Woo! I did get some sun today, didn't I, boy?
Yes.
Woo.
You most definitely did.
I'm like a little red beet, y'all. Woo! What's up, everybody in the house? I got my Mimsy's
What are you doing?
Mimsy's garden shirt on.
Family friendly, honey.
I was trying to find the logo.
Mm-hmm. Pete's Little Homestead, what's up?
Woo, woo, woo.
A lot of good people in here. Mimsy's Garden,
Yep,
Mom
y'all
G.
share it out that we're live. Share it out that we're live.
Geeky Garden, Shayla from Making Lemonade from Lemons. Wow. Two family, I'm assuming that's Daryl.
Okay, hold on for a second. Stop talking for a second. Woo, y'all getting some feedback on the mic? Because it is blowing it all for the charts here. Go ahead and turn that down a little bit. Hope that's better, y'all. Woo. JJL Forge in the house.
Duncan 1900. What's up, Brenda? Geeky Gardens. Heather Russo. What's up? Mark Krieger. It's good to see all of y'all tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Do us a solid and share this information out on your Facebooks, Twitters, Insta Cheeses, anywhere where you dabble in the social media world. Shoot, we'll wait. Make a quick 30-second short video for YouTube and say, hey, Big Bear. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody else is saying it's fine.
Okay, well, it was blowing. Well, I turned it down a little bit, but it was blowing it way off the charts.
Yeah, so
it's
funny because every once in a while it's, can you turn it up? We can't hear. So I don't know what changes that.
I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs, but sometimes we'll have our mic almost all the way up, have it turned all the way up, and it won't even go into the yellow. Mm-hmm. Now I've got my mic just about turned all the way down. Streamlabs turned all the way down, and we're way into the yellow.
In the red. Well, we are in the red.
Going into the red.
A little bit,
so,
yeah.
I don't know. I just work here. So, while we're pollen 2021, y'all.
Now you made me turn up my volume. What's up, Nana Share?
Okay, so while we're waiting on a few more folks to get in here, I want to go ahead and I want to remind everybody, take some time. We had Miss Jody mm-hmm. on our prayer list, mm-hmm. and we have not gotten an update yet about how she's going. I want you guys to just go ahead and keep praying for her and everything that she's got going on. Y'all, we need to pray for Green Dream, GDP. I'm not going to share exactly what's going on, but his family needs your prayers, just comforting prayers, well wishes, stuff like that. Over there to the Green Dream Project, please. And there was another one. My girl Shayla, she lost one of her close battle buddies to suicide. Look, I don't know if y'all remember, a lot of y'all probably weren't around back in the day when we were doing the 22 for the 22 challenge. 22 United States veterans commit suicide a day. And that's too many. One is too many, but this is not like it's just started happening. This has been going on for years. And it shrunk down for a little while to about 20 to 21, but now it's going back up, and I think it's like 24, 25. So that's why everybody just says 22 for 22. There was the push-up challenge that went around for a little while. Y'all, if you know a veteran, especially a combat veteran, check in on them every now and then. Just say, hey, man, or hey, girl, I just wanted to see what y'all were doing, check in on you, just doing, kind of do a little wellness check. Hey, anything I can do for you? You need to talk, blah, 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 whatever. Because the pandemic of 22 for 22 needs to stop. We need to put needs to have the brakes slammed on it hard.
Well, and the COVID did not help anything because one, medical care has been a joke since that's happened because you can't go anywhere or do anything. And so there are veterans out there that need help that are not getting the help that they need right now because of COVID. And also because of COVID, it's social distancing and don't go out and see people. And that is the last thing that veterans need. They need to have camaraderie. They need to have, I don't even know. They need to have personal touch, y'all. They need to have people around them. And being alone is not a good thing. I've got a mosquito right there.
So call check up on your friends that are vets. Call and check up on family. Everybody during this time, because depression. What I saw a meme with Robin Williams on it, and it said something along the lines that depression is the only illness that you don't see symptoms, because those type of people seem like they're happy and they're good to go. So just
Shayla said it best. Isolation hurts people with PTSD or major depression.
Exactly. And so, what's a 30-second phone call? What's a 5-minute phone call out of your life to go in and check on somebody? Because at that particular point in time, that 5-minute phone call may just save somebody's life. And you definitely don't want to be standing there at somebody's funeral going, Jason said I should call.
Oh, you're going to go there?
And regret not calling. Mm-hmm. And in all seriousness, and you're exactly right, I'm going to go there, because if it can save one veteran's life, you can bet your butt I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
So keep our vets, all of my brothers and sisters, in your prayers. Call and check in on them. Keep Shayla and her family in your prayers. Keep that veteran's family in your prayers. Keep Miss Jody in your prayers. And
Green Dream Project.
And good old Green Dream. Keep him in your prayers, y'all. Whew. A big prayer list today. But besides, it gives you time to talk with Jesus, and who doesn't enjoy talking from Jesus?
Jareth from Reap What You Sow's in the hospital. Oh, that stinks.
So we'll keep them in your prayers also. So what a week. 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 I don't know about y'all.
Long week.
But we are running. I feel like the girl that showed up with her dog at the guy that's shooting avocados out of the t-shirt gun. Get out of my way! I feel like that right now.
We really are. Yeah. We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Me and the other Smithfield blacksmiths are even setting up a program for open forge for vets. Yeah. Son just became the next generation to become a member of the armed forces. Awesome. Definitely will, Art. Art, I'm glad to see you comment. I know he's always lurking in the background, but every once in a while.
Lurkers.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a very long week. It was just very stressful. It was a long week for me.
But I'm so happy to be out. This time of year, springtime is usually always stressful. It's usually always go, 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 go.
Well,
but it's also probably the most enjoyable time of the year as a homesteader.
So we've been having some struggles lately. We've been fighting with getting all of our seedlings to take. And
it's not to take, it's to catch the mice.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but
because they're clearing out in the old plantation house or old country house.
The house that's on the corner
with
right
old
by
barn
our house.
Back there. Those of you that have been here, you know what house I'm talking about. They're starting to clean up, starting to do renovations.
They're putting a new roof on, they're cutting grass, they're doing all this stuff.
It can't run that way because that's the road. So all the critters run this way.
Well, and the problem is that where our seed room is an addition to the back end of the house, and so it's not sealed the way that the rest of the house is. So when they drilled holes or put stuff up against the walls, there's little cracks and crevices that we're still having to kind of
and the under part of it is just tin,
right? So it's a struggle. So we have planted probably 600 seedlings, and we have nothing to show for it right now.
Lost Dude, thank you so much for putting that number up.
So I finally said to heck with it, and we've been treading water waiting for the last frost date. And the last frost date is like the middle of this week. But because we're planting, at least when I'm planting in raised beds, the soil's a little bit warmer. It's not as, it doesn't get as affected by, because if I'm deep enough, the soil's not as cold. And I've checked that, believe it or not. In the ground is colder than in our raised beds. And that's partially because of our hugelkultur and with the compost and everything that we have going on in there, the soil's a little bit warmer. So I'm not having to worry about frost as much because I'm putting the seeds in the ground. I don't have seedlings popping up that could get frostbit. So we went ahead and planted a little bit today, and we'll plant some more tomorrow. But in the meantime, I grabbed just a few plants, like literally 2 tomato plants. Are you serious? You're really going to bust my chops about this?
Yeah, I'm going to bust your chops because you called me like a crackhead.
I did. I really did.
That's what I'm laughing about. I ain't busting your chops because you bought more plants. I'm laughing because you were like, honey,
can I get some plants?
Can I get some plants?
Yeah, I was like, no, I didn't do that. But I was like, baby, can I get some plants? And he's like, because he sent me, look, it's his own fault. He sent me to Beggs to go get a...
Okay.
What's it called?
Okay. No, okay. I'm gonna... Some of my really good friends in here, y'all need to write this down for me in case I forget it, because this is some straight great ammunition the next time we're out and about. She's like, let's go cruise around Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's.
I'm not going to ever do that. Like,
you do that most of the time when we go buy one. If we've got the time, let's go see what's going on in Cabela's.
So anyway, I went to Beggs to go get a wheelbarrow because we're moving a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Bet.
Don't ever make fun of me for saying library again.
Bet.
It's wheelbarrow.
I said wheelbarrow.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you said wheelbarrow. Country pumpkin.
I'm a country girl. I'm sorry. Oh, wheelbarrow. See?
Yeah, see that.
Lady Wolverine. What's up? But yeah, a wheelbarrow. So, I went to get a wheelbarrow, and there were a couple of things that I wanted to pick up that I've tried doing by seed, and I'm just not having a whole lot of success with. I had a lemon balm plant. I transplanted it, and it didn't make it. So I got a lemon balm plant. I got some basil, because again, tried to start some basil and no go. So I went ahead and and it was really cool because I don't know if you guys have seen, Baker Creek this year made a big deal about the giant, it's like lettuce basil. Like, it's this huge leaf. And they had some plants that had the purple basil, regular like Emily basil, and then also like this big leaf lettuce type basil. So I was able to get that and put that in there. I'm trying to think, what else did I... Oh, cilantro. Because again, I've tried to do cilantro, which, is really funny because cilantro is one of like the only ones that's really an annual. Everything else, I'm trying to plant all perennials over there, but the cilantro and even the basil is an annual. So, but I'm hoping that those will seed and come back, the following year. So, but yeah, and then I got 2 tomato plants and 2 pepper plants, and that was it. So it was mostly herbs. I'm still hunting down some lemongrass. We need to get lemongrass. Yeah, and stevia.
Look,
those are 2 that I need to get.
After last year, when we finally broke down and we made lemongrass tea, I'm not gonna make it this summer without it.
No, between that and a couple of mint leaves, like take that and brew it all together and let it steep. That is a very refreshing, because then you pour it over ice, and it is a very refreshing drink.
Yes.
And I think this year I'll probably throw like a slice of orange or something like that in there, and I think that, like with the glass, not steeping, and put like a slice of orange in there, I think would be really good.
I wonder if you put it in there while it was steeping.
I don't know.
Or
I don't
lemon.
know.
I'm not a big fan of orange. My mom always just put orange in the tea.
Well, I'm sorry about your baggage, but I like orange, so you can just keep your lemon in your glass, and I'll keep my orange in my glass. What you saying?
That's how it's gonna be. Huh?
That's how it's gonna be.
That's how it's gonna be.
Yep.
We're gonna start just.
Yep.
Flaunting each other's baggage tonight.
Speaking of...
So this is going to be one of those, what was that video that we did that just went way too long because we were supposed to stop at like 10 and we ended up going to like 35.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Things about us you didn't know.
You start talking about it's not a fart, it's not a fart, it's not a fart.
That was you. That was all you.
But anyway, so, my girls and I are rooting lemongrass from the Asian supermarket. They're all growing and rooting. So that's one thing that I want to try and do this year.
We got to get
a lot
some
of
ginger.
propagating.
We got to get some horseradish. We got to do horseradish.
We've tried all of that. And
Look, we did the horseradish.
D, what's up?
We were
Oh, and the other D. Hi, other D too. North Carolina D and Louisiana D. I don't like saying other D because that's not very nice. So, North Carolina D, Louisiana D. Hello. What's up?
About to be a DDT is what it's about to be.
About a DDT right in a no-no square.
That's my no square. No, we were very successful with horseradish. We even dug it up a little bit, took a chunk off, put it back in. Polo your son, because it had a big honking green leaf. The thing was like
it did, but I don't remember us ever harvesting it. I remember us going, "Oh, great, we had horseradish," and then we could never find the horseradish.
You probably weren't here when Blaze and I did it.
Probably. So, did I hear horseradish? I'm all in.
Yeah,
we need to order some because I think around here it's kind of hard to. Might be the slap scene all around YouTube if you keep it up, Jason. Bomber Steve. Just found your channel watching from Central Victoria. Hello.
Good day.
So that means it's like, 9:30 in the morning there, I think? Because they're like 13 hours ahead of us, I think.
So, I got a couple of things in the mail, y'all.
Oh, goodness. Mail call.
Mail call. Got some things in the mail.
Are you really going to show that? Because I thought we were going to do like a video on that.
Oh, you want to keep it a secret?
No, I mean, I guess we don't have to do a secret, but...
We can keep it a secret. We want to keep it a secret.
So, Jason and I... Everybody knows Daisy died a couple of months ago, and we've been talking about buying a female... Really? Buying a female dairy cow to replace her. And we've been kind of going back and forth about everything. And what kind do we want? Do we want a Jersey? Do we want a Jersey Holstein? What kind of dairy cow do we want? And a lot of other people know that we've had some back and forth between Jason and I on Highland cattle. Jason has always loved Highland cattle, but I have always said, absolutely not. We can't raise Highland cattle. It gets too hot here because they have this very thick, hairy coat, and they just look like they're warm all the time, like they're wearing a blanket. And so Jason has done a little bit of research, and he's going to do a video on that.
Jason did a lot of research. Enough research that I could be like,
"Hey, Donald, what's up?
Drop
Doc?"
the mic."
I hate that he comes in as Donald. I always want to think it's the other Donald, but that's Doc. He messes me up. So, and 2 quacks and 5 clucks, welcome. We're glad to see you. Oh, and Terry. Hi, Terry. Terry snuck in here. So we've been going back and forth about it, thinking a little bit about it, and Jason's done some research, and he reached out to...
There's a Highland Cattle Association.
There's a Highland Cattle Association.
And when we go to the Homesteading Life Conference, we will be making a stop to meet the lady that runs the Highland Cattle Association, and she says she's going to pretty much sit down with us, do an interview, answer all of our questions, anything like that. So between now and then, if you got a question about Highlands, any question at all, send it to me via our email. And in the subject line, put Highland Cows on it. And I will make sure that your question gets asked during the interview. And we'll also
Ricky!
give you kind of a shout out there in the thing as well.
So, Lost Dude asks, aren't Dexters cheaper? They may be.
But they ain't cooler.
Well, I will tell you this. I was listening to a video interview that Morgan Gold from Goldshaw Farms did with one of the permaculture kind of gurus, and kind of along the lines of what Joel Salatin did, but I think before Joel Salatin was kind of a big thing.
Okay, hold on. I want to time you out for a second. Lady Wolverine says, where is that conference? The Homesteading Life Conference is in Hannibal, Missouri. The first weekend in August, correct?
It's actually starts like a Sunday. Monday. And the reason they do that is so that people can come in on Friday or Saturday and enjoy time with their family and then do the conference after that. But I don't even know where I was going.
You're talking about Dexter's.
Oh, one of the things that the gentleman that he was interviewing, and his name escapes me, said is that there's not as much market for Dexter meat. And one of the things that Jason found out about the Highlands, and I'm not going to get too far into it, but he found out some pretty interesting information about the meat. And so while it might be more expensive in the beginning, in the long run, it's definitely going to pay off. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But I don't want to ruin the video because it was kind of funny, the nature of how he came up with it. But in the long run, it kind of worked to his advantage. So he's going to turn it into a video and kind of educate everybody else, because there's some really interesting information on these cattle. You know, most of us would probably look at them, and because you see them in Scotland, you know, you think, okay, they've got to be cold. But Jason has a lot of information to tell you it's probably not necessarily true.
Yeah. And then the next thing I have to talk Robyn into is when we get them and when they go to show up, that I'm allowed to wear my kilt and put face paint on like William Wallace.
Well, and we need to get Meg to come down
and play the
bagpipes. Just saying.
And
that will rock.
Yes.
So, yes, Jason won. I will say that out loud. Jason won. But Jason knows how to appeal to me. And that's basically what happened, is he was like, okay, I'll prove you wrong. And, you know, I don't think he believed he was going to prove me wrong.
Well,
but
I'll be honest with you. I've been just dwelling, going, I know. I knew the lady in Lincolnton that was our friend. She had Dexter, or she had
Highlands.
That's where I fell in love with them.
Yes.
And I'm like, we're farther north than she is, so we're about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than she was. So,
but she also had a lot of shade on her property where they were. Like, it was all trees.
Have you not been to the back pasture?
No, I mean, we have all that open pasture in the middle. I mean, yeah, they have, like, the outer edges, but, like, her entire pasture, when we drove through, it was nothing but shade. And they were always under the trees. And this was the middle of the summer when we went. Because we went to go pick blueberries, and it was hot out.
Yeah, yes, I can see. But it wasn't until we watched, and thank you, Crystal from Copper Kettle Farms. We what?
Different Meg. I'm talking about Meg Baker from Breakaway Homesteaders. Just to make sure that we're
y'all
clear
think Meg
about
Holler.
that. Not Meg Holler. Hold on. I know we have a couple Megs, but sorry.
Well, I don't know. I've never
What's
asked
up,
her.
Loma Acres? Yeah, I don't know. She may, but
Meg Holler might be
I'm
able to
talking
play
about
play
Meg
the bagpipes.
Baker.
You know what? I'm going to start that rumor. Meg Holler plays the bagpipes
don't do
awful
that.
well. I'm going to start that rumor.
Don't do it.
But it always bothered me. And then Crystal from Copper Kettle Farms suggested
I love you, D.
that
you and I do that all the time. That's why I think it's funny.
she suggested we watch The Biggest Little Farm.
Yes.
And it's an amazing let me channel my inner Ladessa. It's an amazing documentary. If you have not seen it, definitely go check it out. It's on Hulu right now.
Yes.
Biggest Little Farm.
Yes.
And they live just north of LA, and they had Highlands. And I was kind of like, oh,
well, yeah, I looked up the zone. That's kind of what sparked the conversation.
That's what sparked the conversation, because I was like, they've got Highlands, and you're like, they're not Highlands. And I went on the phone.
Yeah, we looked up their website, and they specialize in Highland cattle. And so then I looked up what zone they were in, and they're in like 9A or 9B. So I'm like, how do they do that?
Yeah, how do they do it? So that's what's really sparked it. And I was like, well, we're getting Highlands. And she was like, you got to give me more of a reason than that. And I went, challenge accepted. And I started doing some research, and I found a lot of
the mother lode.
Amazing stuff I didn't even know. Stuff that just made me want them more.
Even more, right. And definitely brought me on board. So
yeah. So we are in the process right now of looking.
So that's about right. What Thorhaven Lost Dude was asking about how much average at 1,200 to anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 roughly.
Well, I read that if you get young heifers and or a young bull, you can get them for about 900 to 1,000.
Right.
So
just kind of depends. Yeah. And honestly, that was kind of the ballpark we were going to be in for a dairy cow anyway.
Yeah.
So may your life be long and your kilts be short. LA doesn't get that hot for zone B. Well, 7 or 9B, sorry.
Dude. Leave it up to... There's always going to be one in the chat room. It's not a complete successful win until the cows are here, Lost Dude. Shut up. I love you, man, but shut up. Stop typing.
So, what else did you get in the mail, Mr. Big Bear?
The Big Bear guys. Well, that documentary, okay, The Biggest Little Farm, really kind of put the wind back in my sail. Really got the Homestead sustainable lifestyle fires really burning again. They went from being a small little fireplace fire to now I'm like the California wildfires. Fires. Well, I was struggling whether or not it was still too soon to use them in an analogy, but I went with it. And so I started reading.
Smoking Reptile. What's up?
What's up, Smoking Reptile? I started reading Salatin's You Can Farm book again. And then I started looking for my other Salatin books, and I realized I never purchased, I just got them from the library. I never purchased.
From the where?
Library. Oh. Miss Weirbear. I love you. Come here. I never purchased Pastured Poultry Profit. What? That's rude. Pastured Profit. You're making empty promises. Or Salad Bar Beef. So I always check these books out, and it's been
It was really funny because when we were sitting on the couch, I was like, "Wait, you don't have those? I remember you you reading them? You're like, remember that was the time when we were both unemployed and we had to go to the library a lot? Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And so I got these 3 to just read again. Because, again, I'm reading, because it's been so long. It's been so long that rereading You Can Farm again, it's like I'm reading it for the first time. Like I said, it's been over 10 years since I've read these books.
Absolutely. I mean,
and now they've got, which I kind of want to buy this one again, because in these 2, they got amendments in them.
Addendums.
Addendums. Uh-huh. That's what I said. Amendments.
I don't know if both of them do.
Yes. Salad bar beef does too.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Because I was flipping through this one while he was looking at his other one he hasn't talked about yet. And I really love, it's you can't really see, but it's in like typewriter like font, which is really cool. But I started flipping through it, and I was like, I wonder what edition this is, because I knew it was, it's been around for a while. So I started looking at it, and I was like, Jason, did you know that he wrote this book back in 93? Like, that's a long time ago.
Been around, kind of like my ex-wife.
And so then it says first reprinting 96, second reprinting 1999. So I was like, well, that's really cool, but, what makes it still, relevant now? And so I started flipping through it, because one of the things that's in here, the very beginning, like right on the front cover, it says net $25,000 in 6 months on 20 acres. So of course that gets everybody's attention. So I started looking at it, and I was like, well, Jason, some of these numbers of what he's saying, like, they've changed, because chicks don't cost $1.50 to $2 anymore. Now, if you're buying 1,000 birds, they probably are. But, when you're buying however many, it's not. But what is really cool about this is that after he finishes the 1993 version, then there's an addendum for 96, and then again for 99. But then it even goes like, what did I say, like 2010?
I think 2017 was the last one.
18.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this last one is 2018 addendum. So he goes, the whole book is, so he's doing his best to continue to make it relevant. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And one of the major things that I'm looking forward to in this book is to end the long argument, the long debate that we had about how long the meat chickens need to stay in the brooder box.
Some of that depends on the temperatures outside there, Jason.
Now, the other book that I got is a heavy book. And Christmas has come to Georgia.
In April, by the way.
I got his Polyface Designs book. Now, one of the things that I am going to do with this book for y'all is I'm going to go through this book and I'm going to try to make everything in this book. Because Robyn also said that I was allowed to get a welder. So there's some things in here that I wouldn't need a welder for, especially to make some of the trailers. But I'm going to try to make just about everything in this book. And the very first thing that I'm going to be making, and we're going to be doing a video on, is his chicken tractors for the broilers. Ours are kind of like his, but this book didn't exist when we made ours. And when I went straight to it, I was like, oh, yeah, that would probably eliminate that, what we got in there, and that would eliminate that, what we got in there. And so we're going to remake them and make them to his standards. And I'm going to fabricate his little dolly for the meat, for the broiler tractors.
Okay. Well,
those are going to be the first two ones that I make. And then I'm going to make the brooder house for them so that way they can get out of my house.
You got enough land?
Yes. I got 21 acres.
And, 20, I know people always think like hundreds of acres, thousands of acres, all that stuff. But the thing is that you don't realize how much you can do with what you have. I mean, like, we're barely even scratching the surface on the back part of our property, which is the bulk of our property. We are running all of our birds
on the front part,
our goats, and our pigs, all just in this front part. And doing fine with it.
In fact, we probably need to bring the cows
up here to mow the grass.
Because the chickens can't keep up with the grass. Neither can the pigs.
So and that's probably maybe, 5 or 6 acres of it?
I think it's like, I
mean, it's not a huge tract of land up here. And we're barely, we have the cows back there, but that's it. Like, there's nothing else going on back there right now. So,
And the things that I'm like I said, the very first things that I'm going to make is the chicken tractors and the dolly.
To move everything.
Yeah. Then I'm going to start making a lot of these shade.
See, that's one of the things that we definitely have to keep in mind, because if we start running everybody in the back, we definitely have shade along the edges, but we don't have anything in the middle. Everything in the middle is wide open, and so if we're going to be running things up and down that pasture, we're gonna have to have some kind of portable shade.
And Lost Dude reminded me again that he's still waiting on my bat box thing. We have to make them this year, because we've got to get more bats here around the homestead, and a lot of people are cutting trees, and granted,
there's been a lot of trees going down lately,
and so these wonderful mammals need a place, and I would really love for them to hang out here. Like, I would really love, but I know Robyn wouldn't let me do it, they built back during, I think it was back during the Depression. I think it was in Texas. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that they built like this house-size bat house. And because malaria was breaking out real bad down there because of the mosquitoes. And they put this one big, huge structure on this one farmer's land on top of a hill. And the bats came to it.
Wow.
And they started roosting there. And within weeks, the infectious rate of malaria just started plummeting.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
I just don't know that that's practical. I think for us, it would just be better to put a bunch of
bunches of them around. Just like I like in the back, I would love to be able to put up some owl boxes.
Absolutely. We need those.
And I would love to be able to figure out how, and maybe some of y'all that may be more techie than I am, I would love to be able to figure out a way to put a camera in there that, once a week or something, I could jump live and be able to hook up with it via Wi-Fi or whatever, and go live on Facebook or go live on YouTube, especially during the times when the baby owls should be hatching.
Sure.
Now look, an owl's a predator. Yes, he can come get my chickens and guineas and baby turkeys and,
he could, but we have so much going on back there that's where you're going to put them. You're not going to put them up here.
I'm not going to draw them up here. I'm going to give them a place to live back there and try to keep with my food barrier that I got going on back there.
Right.
Keep them back there with the mice and the rats and the snakes. Now, one of the things that I am nervous this year, and I know we kind of gone off on a tangent here, and I apologize, but one of the things that I'm nervous this year is about having a bird of prey problem this year due to the increase of mice and rats due to them cleaning out up there, because I have already seen our snake population go through the roof.
Well, I will say this. I think that actually works to our advantage, in my opinion, because if there's a lot of mice, then maybe they'll leave my chickens alone.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we've kind of had in the past is if there weren't a whole lot of mice, then they had to get their food somewhere else. Yeah. And so that was maybe chicks and things like that. I enjoyed
them getting it back there.
There, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Having the increased population up here, because that's one of the things that I teach in my predator control class is if you don't get anything out of my class, if you think I'm an idiot, listen to this one sentence and then you can get up and leave the class, is everything in the animal kingdom follows its food source.
Right.
So if I got to increase the population of mice and rats up here, I've already noticed, here come the snakes. Well, your birds of prey eat mice, rats, and snakes. So right. I'm hoping by not taking out a lot of the, because we used to take out just about every snake except for a king snake. I'm leaving every snake alone
this year. Yeah, we definitely are. I had one in my mint bed the other day.
Yeah, that was a king snake.
And that was a king snake. We left it. Well, Carol tried to not leave it alone, but.
We had, when I was cutting the grass on this side of the house, I come across another king snake. Now, I've only come across one rat snake, and I haven't if it's a venomous snake, I'm taking it out because of the kids and everything. But I have not run across a venomous snake yet. Mm-mm. It's either been kings and rat snakes. So I would love to have a super population of king snakes. But
wow, yeah. Our Great Pyrenees puppy took down a hawk the other day. I will say that our Great Pyrenees, he barks and alerts us when they're close. He knows. Snake populations don't expand due to any condition in a year. They breed at the same rate. Okay, so that I can understand, but them coming to our property because of their food can change.
Yeah.
I mean, snakes can sense, and I'm not going to say smell, they can sense mice or rat poop for how many?
About a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
That's why when they're flicking their tongue out like that, they're bringing the tongue back in and touching the roof of their mouth, and that's where the Jacobson's gland is. Mm-hmm. And that's how they follow their food source. So
if you have a population boom of mice or rats, they're going to follow.
Yeah, you're going to have a population boom.
Right.
Boom
so
of snakes
it's not that they produce more. It's just you may see more of them on your property.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, though. They pretty much breed at the same rate, every year. But yeah, that's.
Rat snakes eat copperheads too. Now, that's the first time I've
never heard that before. But I know that.
Okay, I'm going to fact check you on that one, Lost Dude. And if you are right, I'll let you know next week. And then we will leave the rat snakes alone, too. Mm-hmm.
We have copperheads and rattlers here. We haven't had... It's been a while since we've seen a rattler.
Yeah.
Hubs has gone out of training for a few weeks. A neighbor said if I needed anything, he'd help me. I was like, okay, if I find a snake, I'll call you. He was all like, wait, what? I don't do snakes. Oh, wow. An eastern brown in Australia can smell a mouse from a mile away.
That's the most poisonous or venomous snake in the world.
Yikes. That's nuts. Yeah. Eastern brown. Wow.
If you are a very weak person, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I mean, if you're not very alpha-y.
Mm-hmm. Alpha-y.
Alpha-y. If a brown snake looks at you, it'll kill you.
Copperheads get huge. Yes, they do. They can. Jason and I had it was a copperhead, wasn't it? Or was it a moccasin?
It was when I shot by your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a moccasin.
Moccasin. Whoa. Yeah. That's why we don't do beaver jobs anymore in the summertime.
Yeah, that was a little scary.
No more water trapping in the summer. Just saying. Never going to happen again. We only had one copperhead here, and it was already being eaten by a black snake. So probably that would be... Any snake you kill is a weakening of the ecosystem. That's true. I mean...
That's very true.
And what he's saying is right. Venomous snakes pose very little actual threat, depending on the activity. If you spook them, then absolutely. But they don't just go out. Second most toxic, the most common snake I have to pick up and bag. Oh, that sucks.
Well, what's the most...
Yeah, what's the most toxic then?
What's
I'm
the
curious.
most
What's the
toxic?
most venomous? I run from snakes, but my shovel likes them. Corals are deadly, yes.
Yes, coral snakes are deadly. But why I take out the venomous snakes around here is one, my girls do not really pay attention when they're walking.
They are not very aware of their surroundings.
And two,
Taipans, okay, yeah.
Two, we are trying to open up our farm for farm tours, and we want to kind of, I don't want to say specialize, but we kind of want to make sure that we our direct audience, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe this, will be children with special needs. Mm-hmm. We really, really want to open up our place to let them come and enjoy a farm. And so that's why, yeah. But believe it or not, even most of your venomous snakes, when they bite you, it's 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a dry bite. The only when they really pump you is when they really just feel like they're super threatened.
Yeah. But let a baby get you.
Yeah.
They give you everything they got because they haven't learned to control their bite yet.
Sonny, how do you say his last name? I can't see it.
It might be a girl. Sonny Thornton. Hello, just saw your smokehouse video. Went to check out your channel. Saw you were live. Well, welcome.
Welcome. We hope you hit that subscribe button and the bell. Speaking.
There you go. We want to be special needs inclusive. That's the term. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Speaking of the bell, we've had an incident with the last couple of videos that we have let out. People have messaged us, talked to us on Marco Polo, whatever, and said that they are not getting the notification. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen, she either A, got mad at us and unsubscribed and forgot that she did that, or which probably is extremely highly unlikely, or B, she hasn't been watching the videos as much as YouTube says she should be.
As she should be.
And YouTube unsubscribed her. Mm-hmm. But y'all definitely, when you leave here this evening, check to make sure if you've got, please have the bell rung for us.
Yeah, we had a great video on our bees this past week, and it seemed like even our people that normally comment didn't comment. So I was just curious, if everybody got their notification and stuff like that. So I disagree with that, Steve, but we'll leave that for
what?
Something else. That it's a myth about baby snakes not being able to control their venom.
That's what I've always been taught.
I've had 2 friends that got bit by babies and had to have the anti-venom, and it was a bad situation because they got everything that the baby had. So, I mean, it could be that that's a myth, but that was the experience that I ran into. So see, Terry says I don't get any notifications from any lives. So, I don't know. The bell sucks.
So if you could just since I brought that back up, and it was a decent it was an easy transition. Y'all just check on that for us, and
I'm just a crappy friend and haven't watched it yet. I love North Carolina D. She's like, I'm just crappy. She's so funny.
Yep.
I've not been seeing the notices, but when I do, I watch them.
No.
So yeah, I don't know, but it's a very good. There's a lot of really good footage, and if you've seen that one and you enjoyed the footage on that one, hold on tight because this week's video is gonna be amazing.
Amazing! It's gonna be huge.
Would love to have a homestead, but probably in the transition move. By the snakes are tasty. You could use your smoke. Ugh. I'm not up for eating snake.
Well, Blaze and I ate that rat snake that one time.
Ugh.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I think he burned it. But that was just me. I've never smoked one.
Ugh. Your bell is broken. What?
You don't know how true that is. Pete's little homestead.
I'm not getting them either. Isn't that crazy? I don't know.
Well, look, we do our absolute best. And if I don't do my part, Robyn literally flogs me. Y'all. Robyn is a very abusive spouse.
Smouse?
And see,
I'm a mousy spouse, apparently.
That's how you know I'm not telling the truth, because I just stumble all over words. Unless I'm in front of the camera, and then I stumble all the time.
Yeah.
But Rob, yeah, you're very abusive.
Very abusive, apparently.
Yes, and she flogs me. So, but we do our best to put out our videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Right now, we put them out at 10 a.m. But one of the things that we're going to be checking is what YouTube says is the best time for us to put them out. But right now, it's 10 a.m. So if you haven't gotten a notification by 10:30 or 11,
just go check it.
Just go check it.
Check it out if you don't have anything.
And then send YouTube hate mail and talk about, Big Bear, they're so awesome. And you're not sending me their notifications. Maybe that'll help. Doubt it?
Maybe. But good night, Josh. Yeah, so we didn't talk anything about what I was going to talk about, but
okay, we'll talk. We can still talk.
No, we're good. We were just going to talk about chickens, and now it's already 9 o'clock.
Well, let's talk about chickens and about how you're wrong.
What? What do you mean? Why am I wrong? Why am I wrong?
Because you are a chicken racist. Is that even a thing?
No. Speciesist, maybe? What is this, like, little curly thing going on right here?
It's your Superman curl.
It is. Like, look at it. It's weird. Strange. Give mad props to anyone who can do the YouTube channels a try. I've just run out of time. It's definitely a scheduling thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a scheduling thing, and you have to remember to bring the camera with you.
Darren said he slept in, so our live is now church time. I slept in today, so here I am. I am not wrong. All the chickens, must get them all.
Including the white ones?
No white ones.
That makes you a chicken racist.
So this is what he's referring to.
Makes you a chicken racist.
We've been raising birds in one shape or form for almost our entire time that we've been homesteading.
Almost our entire marriage.
Yeah. So at least Mama Bear needs all the chickens. Yes. So we've been doing, we've been doing birds in some shape or form for probably close to, 15 years. And in my experience, what I have perceived is that anytime that we've had white birds, whether they were longhorns or leghorns, longhorns. See what you did to me, Misty?
I see what you did there. I'll give you some of that. Ooh.
Leghorns or Delawares or anything like that that's a primarily white bird. I have seen those birds get targeted by predators. Aerial predators, foxes, whatever. And so I have always been more along the lines, if you look at pictures of chickens that I've ever posted, they're almost always darker. They're either Rhode Islands, they're Buff Orpingtons, and a lot of times that's because in the middle of the summer, sometimes our grass is not green, it's brown. And so I have found that our birds, the ones that we usually hold on to the longest, are the darker birds. So with that being said, I was talking to...
Never had a white bird turn orange.
Well, with mud, yes, we have.
I mean, when they did a
dirt
bath.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about, I'm pretty sure. And so I was talking to Ginger because, we started talking about what kind of things, what kind of birds that I would like to have. And my big, huge caveat, like from the very beginning, was I don't want any white birds. And she was like, because we were talking about with big plans for 2020, we were talking about egg production.
That's when we almost scared McMurray off because I was like, would you stop with that white bird stuff? And we kind of back and forth. And Ginger and Tom were kind of like, awkward.
I was like, look, in my experience, I have hardly any white birds because they get picked off. They always do. And so, and Jason disagrees with me on this. It's very obvious with his body language, but in my...
White chicken lives matter too.
in my experience, if you have them free ranging, white birds get picked off faster than the darker birds.
And that's not really a fair assumption to have, because I feel like our experience and our education level from when we used to have a lot of white birds has come leaps and bounds. I'm getting ready.
Well, that's good, because we're fixing to find out.
Yeah.
Because last year they, what's the word? Placated me and said, okay, we won't give you any white birds. This year,
they're ripping the Band-Aid off.
Jenner's like, we're ripping the Band-Aid off. We're going to get you some white birds. So she's not sending me any white leghorns, but she is sending me some of their other leghorns just to see if they produce as well as the white leghorns. But she is sending me some Delawares. And Jason loves Delawares because they're a very meaty bird. They're
cool.
They're very stout birds. And so
for being a Yankee bird, they're pretty cool.
So Jason is really excited about that. But we're getting quite a few interesting choices. And so I'm excited to be able to show that to y'all. They will be here the week after Mother's Day. So y'all be paying attention for that. That's going to be really interesting to follow those guys along. And another interesting thing is we actually have... in the birds where I lost my mind and went and got 41 birds. And if you haven't seen that video, you need to go check it out. We did that on Tuesday?
Yeah, that was chicken math.
Math video was pretty funny. But with those, there is a white Americana in there,
which is a fluke.
Well, they occur, but not as frequently as the other ones. And she's beautiful. And we have a rooster. Our blue true whiting bird, he is a white with just a little bit of, or maybe off-white with some brown feathering. But he's beautiful. And I'm worried that when we go to turn them out, that could be a problem. But we'll see. I'm willing to try it and see what happens. But Jason makes a really good point that we've learned a lot about managing our area and, thinning out populations and managing populations on things where it may not be a problem. So we'll see.
And to be honest with you, my ace in the hole is hopefully by the time that we get the eggmobiles and everything like that built, I'll also have that last bit of perimeter fence, all the holes found and fixed.
And that was another thing you were saying.
And I can turn Gizmo loose.
Right.
And I think Gizmo will tear up a hawk.
I think you will too. I think you're absolutely right. What kind of pigs do you raise? The tasty kind.
The tasty kind. They are, right now, the ones that we have on property are a Hampshire Berkshire cross. We have done Yorkshires, which we had a tremendous amount of success with those guys. Mm-hmm. And we did the American Guinea Hogs. The American Guinea Hogs, they would root the mess up, and they cleaned up some areas here on the property. They were small enough that we could put them in smaller areas to get rid of a lot of ivy and stuff like that for us. That worked great. Mm-hmm. I was not a big fan of their flavor.
And you don't get a whole lot of meat.
Right. They were good. They take forever and a day because they're a heritage breed for them to get up there. But I was just not impressed with their.
I love her. She makes me laugh every time she does that.
Mama Z with her chicken support.
That's her chicken support. Anyway, what were you saying?
And so, thank you, Mama Z. Thank you very much.
She's so cute.
And so now we have the Hampshire Berkshire cross, and they actually trump, in my opinion, the flavor with the Yorkshires.
We had pork loin tonight from our Berkshire Hampshire crosses, and it was off the chain. It was really good, very tender. Like she must have, and I don't even think that was the tenderloin. I think that was just the loin, and they were really good. Easter eggers. So
hold on, before that one, Sonny asked, "How are you dealing with the construction material prices? Been killing off a lot of projects."
That was after, but okay, go ahead.
Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
It is a coin toss. In all honesty, we got lucky before the prices really shot through the roof with lumber. Kyle from Trip H Homestead came up with his portable sawmill, and he sawed up some of the lumber on our place, and we have been using pallets since 2008, and so we just steadily use pallets. That's what, it may take a lot of wood glue and biscuits to be able to make a 4x8 panel or, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's working. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to roll with.
Mm-hmm. So Terry was saying she's got a neighbor that's given her some Easter eggs. And they're trying to incubate them and hope that they'll hatch. And she doesn't know what the colors of the birds are. The interesting thing about Easter eggers or Americanas or whatever is they can be all over the place. One of the things that I always look for is the muffs and the beard. A lot of times you may see just the muffs or you'll just see the beard, but one of the things that Ginger told me is that you look at their feet, and if their legs are green, that usually will tell you that they're going to lay, that they're an Americana or Easter egger kind of thing. So
really,
yeah. So, and that's very true because all of the birds that I have out there that are Easter eggers, they all have green legs. Yeah. Very, very cool.
Thank you, Niall. Thank you, Devil Dog.
He said, "Did you get your fences done?"
No, it says, "Get your fences done."
Oh, get your fences done? No. But it's a question mark, though.
Oh, that's a question mark.
Yeah. So good luck with that because the coloring on those birds is always weird. Like our 2 roosters that we got with that big group, they are beautiful, but they're like every color of the rainbow. Like they have all different types of colors. So,
but to answer your question, Niall, no, they're not done, but we're literally at this front portion up here. I believe most of it is okay, but we have to clear it first. Mm-hmm. So we're taking the goats over there and letting them eat down through all those briars, and then after the goats go through, we're going to run the pigs behind them to hopefully turn up a lot of that stuff, so then we can get
good night, Sonny.
Thanks
for stopping by.
Back exterior fence. Mm-hmm. And we may have to slap in some T-posts. We may have to replace a couple of sections.
Do some hog paneling, something. We got to figure something out because he needs to be able to run around and do everything. Not leaving, just saying goodnight. Okay, sorry.
It's
good night, Mimsy.
It's not necessarily got to figure it out. We just got to be patient and let the goats do what they got to do, and then the pigs do what they're going to do. Because at the end of the day, by being patient like that and letting them do that, one, I don't have to go in there and fight with all those briars. The goats will eat them down tremendously, and then the pigs will come through and root them up, and then it's a simple walk back in there for me, and I don't have to feed them animals when they're doing that.
Jujubee, you're right. I was just getting ready to say that, but Jason was talking, so I don't want to interrupt him. But one of the things I'm interested in doing is we have the Easter egger roosters, and I have some cuckoo Moran hens, so I would love to breed them so that I could get some, what they call them is olive eggers. So if you get that gene from the greenish blue egg from the Americana or the Easter egger, and you take that dark brown and mix those together, those genetics together, you'll get like an olive colored egg, and they call them olive eggers. So I am definitely looking forward to playing with a little bit of genetics, because I also have the true whiting that they lay. It's a white egg, but the white is blue. Like, it's really hard to explain, but they're blue. And so again, I'd like to take that rooster and put it with a copper Moran, or a cuckoo Moran. I don't have any blacks, but I have the cuckoo Moran, and if you blend those together, again, you'll have that olive egg. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that. Somebody asked, are all the white birds mostly just the broilers? No, there's white silkies. There's Delawares, Brahmas. But the big one is the leghorn. There's a white leghorn and there's like a pearl leghorn. So that's what, there's a lot of white birds out there. Yeah, I didn't know that. I need olive eggs. China blue. It's really light. I'll take a picture and post it on the Nation.
Icy blue?
Icy blue, like the color. She's wanting to ask, like, what color is that blue egg? We do have some. Do you want a copper Moran? I've got two. I would love to have some copper Morans. I have the cuckoo Morans, which are really cool because they look like a barred rock.
She took that back, so she ain't gonna give up that bird now. She's like, oh, what was I thinking? I don't love Robyn that much.
They look just like a barred rock, but the white in between the black stripes, the white is not white. It's like a brown color. And but it's a light brownish, creamish color. So they're really pretty. And they lay really dark. Not as dark as the French black copper Morans. But they do, make a pretty dark black egg. I want a leghorn rooster and name it Foghorn. I've only got roosters. That would be fine. We need another rooster. We were talking about the numbers. Well, remember the ratio?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's based on if all of these juveniles are girls. We don't know yet what we got as far as the sexes on the feet.
She thinks they're all girls.
She thinks they are, but we all know how that goes. And I'm not saying anything against her. I mean, McMurray sent me supposed to be all layers, and we still ended up with two males. So, which is fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was fine because we need that ratio.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many. I retracted it so Jason wouldn't yell at me for aiding and abetting Robyn's chicken habits. Look, y'all need to tell McMurray this. I told him they need to make a shirt that says enabling crazy chicken ladies since 1917. I think that would be the best. I would buy that shirt. I would have that shirt. That's what it needs to be like. Yeah. McMurray Hatchery enabling crazy chicken ladies since 1917.
Well, one of the things that we're going to do, we're going to let Robyn start to play with some of the genetics because we have enough birds right now to run like 3 or 4 different egg mobiles. Mm-hmm. And so then we will save up and replace our incubator. We've got the old Dickey's incubator, but it's old. We had to rebuild the box. Mm-hmm. And so when we put Morgan's duck eggs in there, we didn't have a very good hatch rate. No. And so
Dorkings are white too. That's right.
I'm not sold on everything because that was one of Blaze's homeschool projects. And so I'm not 100% sure if he really gave it his best college try or what. But he says he glued it together to help get the seal, but I don't think he did.
Well, whatever the case, I feel like it's time. It's not that in the grand scheme of things with what we want to do, it would be a very wise investment for the amount that we would, even if we were to get a very small one that would only do however many at a time.
Yeah.
I think it would be worth doing that because chickens only take 21 days.
Yep.
So you could have just a smaller one, incubate those out, and then the next month, because really we're going to be selling eggs too, so we don't want to take them all for incubating either. So that's the thing is like, at what point do you decide that big, huge cabinet one is really not you have space that you're not using. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a conversation for us to have.
Peacocks and ducks and this and that and this. That big cabinet one is definitely going to be one that we're going to have to be spitting them out.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know if it's worth the investment because another thing that we've been talking about is bantams. We want to have some bantams so that we can have some broody chickens too, because you can't always rely on electricity. I mean, the Macs, they recently lost power, and they had birds in the incubator, or eggs in the incubator, and they lost power for quite a while. Fortunately, I think theirs hatched, but I know from experience, we've had this happen where we lost power. They came back, they hatched, but they weren't, some of them had some issues because it didn't go through the right process, And so that's...
we'll just get that generator back up.
Right, to support my chicken habit. So... whatever you got to use, baby, right?
You're getting ready to start supporting my Highland cow habit, so
okay. Yeah.
Why not? Well, we will enable each other's habits.
There we go. Sounds good.
We're the couple that they talk about in AA meetings that shouldn't be together.
Hi, my name is Robyn, and I'm a chickenaholic.
Just saying.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half, and so we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I noticed how y'all talking about we heard him when I'm talking about I'm supporting her chicken habit, but yet when she said what she said earlier, and I asked y'all to write it down, silence in there.
Nope.
This whole girl power thing that y'all got going on in the chat box with Robyn. All right, y'all been doing it to me now for a couple of years. Starting to get a little old. Big boy needs love too now.
Get over it. All right, y'all. Habit or obsession?
Exactly.
Both.
That's what I'm saying. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Don't forget, we put out a new video every Tuesday and Thursday around 10 a.m. Come check us out on Instagram. Robyn puts a new picture out on Instagram every morning about, between 7 and 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. I try to put it out first thing in the morning for people that are, sitting down having their cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I stand for Jason.
Also, we have delegated the reins to our TikTok to Carol. Some of the TikToks are absolutely hilarious. She did one with a cow where it nibbled on her leg and she wasn't expecting it to. I almost wet my pants because that one was funny.
Chris said he's on your side, Jason.
Chris better be, because he don't want me to come up there. See, I'm talking all this trash because I'm an internet commando.
Yeah. I know you're a keyboard commando.
Chris opened up the door right now and be like, "Hey, Chris, how's it going?" Because he would be like Chris. Look, Naturally NC's husband is huge, y'all.
He is a tall man.
He's like Andre the Giant's little brother. I'm just saying. But yeah, check out the TikTok. It's at Big Bear Homestead on TikTok, or however you do the TikTok. The TikTok. Instagram. Also, if you're a Facebooker and you want to join the Big Bear Nation on Facebook, go ahead, look it up, click on that join button, but make sure you answer all the questions.
Scroll down.
Scroll all the way down. You don't answer all the questions, my mods won't let you in. And I have some awesome moderators in that thing. They throw out stuff to get you talking and get you thinking, and they share all kinds of stuff. But y'all come on over. Join that on the weekday funds. Every Tuesdays, Thursdays, 10 a.m. we put out the videos. And thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you next time. Robyn and I always want to remind you to plant smiles.
Grow giggles.
And harvest the love, baby. Yeah.
Never gets old.
Never gets old. Recycle, reuse, repurpose, keep stuff out of the landfill, and we will see you guys next time. Night, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
God bless.